If you're someone who knows you're meant for more wealth, more powerful connections, more aligned opportunities, or even an elite relationship, I'm going to show you how I use proximity as a former ultra-high net worth private banker at Goldman Sachs and UBS to go from outsider to trusted insider in powerful elite circles across global cities around the world. I'll show you the power moves that you can start applying today to get into elite circles, plus the one mistake that most people make that keep them locked out of these worlds. Proximity isn't luck, it's leverage, it's strategic positioning. Let's start here. You don't attract wealth by working harder, you attract wealth by being in proximity or by being close to it. Wealthy people move in clusters, and not just because they're in the same tax bracket, it's because they operate on the same frequency. When you're in those spaces, something shifts. It's not about copying their lifestyle, it's about absorbing their assumptions. In these rooms, big money isn't intimidating, being discerning isn't rude, having a second or third home, it's standard. When I was still new in private banking back then, the first thing that I noticed is clients didn't invest just based on logic. They invested based on who else was in the room. I once watched a man wire $30 million after a business lunch because another client that he respects has already committed. That's proximity. It multiplies conviction. When I moved to Monaco, I didn't move there for the sea views. I moved there because I knew the energy there is different. Brunch conversations included off-market investment opportunities and 100-year family legacies. Proximity to people who thought in terms of decades instead of days or months expanded my baseline. Your nervous system starts to rewire itself. You're no longer surprised by abundance, you expect it. And from that frequency, you attract it. Here's what most people don't realize. Every room has an energetic baseline. Some rooms normalize fear, scarcity, or survival, but elite rooms normalize expansion, risk tolerance, vision, and play. The closer you are to people who make million-dollar decisions for fun, the more your nervous system calibrates to match. This is why wealthy people cluster together, not because of their ego, but because of the same frequency. And also because their environment protects their frequency. I'm going to share about the 3 types of capital and how you can move between classes. In high-level spaces, you're not just evaluated based on your credentials. You're being evaluated on what I call the 3 currencies. Firstly, economic capital. Obvious. Your assets, your income, the opportunities you bring. And secondly, cultural capital. Your taste, your languages, metaphorically, your discernment. Do you know how to carry yourself in the room? And thirdly, most importantly, social capital. This can't be replaced by AI, and it's who knows you and who's willing to vouch for you, even when you're not there in presence. When I was stationed in Zurich, I attended a silent charity auction held inside a private chateau. I didn't speak unless I was invited. I didn't pitch. I observed. A billionaire's wife told her husband, "She listens like someone who already knows." And that comment bought his trust instantly and led to my entry of advising a multi-generational trust fund for 3 years. That's cultural and social capital combined. Proximity enhances your ability to grow these 3 currencies fast. By mirroring and resonating high frequencies environments, you can build all 3 currencies, but proximity is the accelerator. I've seen people with 0 background or paper credentials enter these elite circles simply because they know how to play by these 3 currencies. And they understood the unspoken language of status, value, and grace. When you can be in the room, add value just by being you or using one of these 3 currencies, and raise the collective standard. Not compete, but calibrate, and doors open without asking. Here's the overlooked truth that most people don't know. The ultra-wealthy network over shared rituals, not forced conversations at boring mixers or generic networking events. They move through ritualized high-frequency spaces like luxury hotels, members-only private club, boutique wellness centers, high-end spots, and art exhibitions, and invite-only gatherings. The biggest deals, power introduction, and legacies shifting conversations happen in places that you can't Google. These include private investment dinners located at penthouses, conversations at country club spas, unscripted moments at private yachts, and art previews in members-only galleries. They are not public, they are not advertised, they are curated spaces where energy is everything. In Singapore, I was invited to a private dinner by someone I met at a low-lit jazz club in a luxury hotel. We connected over a shared love of Impressionism art. 2 months later, I was sitting with 3 company founders whose companies were on NASDAQ. And see, it has nothing to do with my credentials, but it has everything to do with my energy and who I've become. Proximity doesn't ask for your resume. It asks, do you belong here energetically? If you're not sure where to start, look at your lifestyle touch points. Art fairs, charity galas, polo matches, yacht clubs, private chef dinners. Volunteer if you can't buy in yet. Or even better, host. I remember I hosted multiple keynote events at a private club in Toronto, where they invited global 9- and 10-figure entrepreneurs and politicians to speak at these events. And just by being at the front desk, I have met so many ultra-high net worth people, so many politicians and diplomats, who then introduced me to other private events as well as their network. Curate genuine experiences around causes or conversations that they truly care about, because that's the fastest way you get to build rapport and trust. When you lead the room and you matchmake by value and the 3 currencies that I spoke about, you expand your network, because everyone there gets to know you and know what you're about. Proximity isn't just physical, it's energetic and habitual. Here are 8 shifts that you can integrate into your lifestyle today. If you're working remotely, choose luxury 5-star hotel lounges over cafes. And go there when the 9 to 5 people are at their offices and the ultra-rich come out to play. You want to be where and when affluent people come out to decompress. Join energy wellness spots. Boutique Pilates in an affluent neighborhood, hot yoga, or 5-star luxury hotel spa lounges. When I was in Singapore, I was part of a private sports club, which cost $7,000 a month, but I was invited to join. And because they knew the social capital that I brought to the current network at the club, and every day when I went there during office hours, there was at least one CEO in the yoga studio or at the swimming pool or at the gym. And that is the quickest way that you get to network with the ultra rich, because like I mentioned, it's not just where, it's also when. Second step is to create your weekend rituals as if you're already one of them. You could frequent farmers markets in wealthy districts, luxury car shows, or wine or tea tastings. The 4th point is volunteering. You could volunteer at charity galas, art foundation, or heritage events. And volunteering actually places you in the ecosystem of the rich if you know the right events to go to. Become a regular at quiet luxury places, yacht club, golf clubs, private clubs. Being seen consistently builds familiarity and trust. And 6, attend legacy-coded events, polo, equestrian circles. These gatherings signal long money. Number 7, invest in refinement of your small talk skills. You know, when it comes to small talk, it's really great to go by the width first before you go by depth. So like I mentioned just now, vintage watch expos. Wouldn't it be great if you spoke the same language by knowing all kinds of watches like Richard Mille, Patek Philippe, IWC, Learn how to ask powerful questions and listen with a presence. Create your own table where you're able to connect people together and matchmake their value. When I said matchmake by value, I mean matchmake by what someone is seeking by value and what another person can offer by value. So if you're able to connect the dots, you will be well respected as a super connector. Return will be more likely to vouch for you and make introductions for you, and that is how you expand your network in the high net worth circles. Proximity without identity is wasted access. Do you remember when I created that video on your energetic identity? If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you click the link in the description box below. In that video, I break down how your energetic identity locks in your reality on lasting wealth and elite networks, not just based on energy. So if you're serious about embodying that version who already belongs in those rooms, make sure to check out that video after this. I'll recap the 5 laws of proximity. Proximity is contagious. Normalize wealth to stabilize wealth. Proximity is designed. Curate your schedule. Don't leave it to chance. Proximity is frequency. Mesh energetically before you match strategically. Proximity is compoundable. Each touch point multiplies your reach. And proximity is reflection. You are who you sit next to. If you've been watching this and you feel activated, that you're ready to meet ultra high net worth individuals, then Elevating Circles was designed for you. You'll get access to a system where I personally use as a private banker to access elite networks across the world. This isn't theory. It's proven proximity strategy that everyone asks me for. When you master it, your next client, your next high net worth investor, or your next luxury partner becomes inevitable. Right now, we are in pre-sale, and this is the lowest that it will ever be. It's at 1,222 or 3 monthly payments of 466. The offer ends on July 7th, so don't wait. Proximity doesn't just give you access, it recalibrates your entire life. When you surround yourself with power, wealth, and abundance, and vision, you start playing a completely different game. You are one room away from the life you want to live. One introduction away. One introduction away from aligned love, deal flow, and generational wealth. Now, in my next video, I'm diving into how I entered into the networks of old money versus new money, and more importantly, how to understand how each group think and make decisions, and ultimately choose who gets access. Whether you're closing a business deal or attracting an elite partner, this insight changes everything. If it's already live, you'll see it here. If not, hit the notification bell and I'll see you in the next video.